Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. The very much anticipated Ukrainian military counteroffensive started in the south. This is according to their reports and the mass media, obviously. So I have here an article from Reuters from today, August 29th, 2022. Ukraine says long-anticipated southern offensive has begun. Yay! Let's see how far they get and how successful they will be. Ukraine has started a long-awaited counter-offensive in the country's south, its Southern Military Command said on Monday. And I'm quoting, "Today we started offensive actions in various directions, including in the Kherson region." End quote. Ukrainian public broadcaster Suspilne cited Southern Command spokesperson Natalia Humenyuk as saying she confirmed the news minutes later at a briefing. Ukraine has been talking up a planned counteroffensive in its Russian-occupied southern regions for 2 months. Humenyuk said that Ukraine's recent strikes on Russia's southern logistical routes had unquestionably weakened the enemy, adding that more than 10 Russian ammunition dumps had been hit over the last week. However, she declined to be drawn into giving more details about the new offensive. And I'm quoting, "Any military operation needs silence," she said, adding that Russia's forces in the south are, and I'm quoting, "rather powerful and have been built up over a long time." Well, get your popcorn and whatever you want to drink, and let's see what's going to happen. I personally do not believe it until it's going to be about a week of articles stating that Ukrainians reached this point, and then they reached this point, and then the Russians are running from that point, and then they liberated this and liberated that. That's great that they let us all know that actually the counteroffensive was right in front of our eyes, but we didn't figure it out. Why? Because it's a different kind of counteroffensive, we have been told by one of those handlers of the Ukrainian nation. I can't remember who the weasel was. Was it Danilov or it was another whatever, Alexei, whomever his whatever his last name is. There were many coming and saying, especially one said, "You don't understand. Actually, this is a different kind of counteroffensive." Okay, all right. And they said that they will, what they did, what the Russians have been doing lately, I guess. You hit, actually both. I don't want to give any of this, a gold medal for being the first or anything. But they were hitting the positions on the other side, and after you weaken that position, you advance. I said this in about, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago video. You weaken that, and then you slowly advance. You weaken that, you slowly advance. In case those guys, or at least those locations, those targets were damaged, destroyed, eliminated. But if they keep bringing ammunition, weapons and personnel, then it's going to be just like this until one of these guys are just going to be depleted of both. I didn't hear anything yet about any successes, like advances, where you see the Ukrainian army really advancing. The counteroffensive is a counteroffensive. Offensive, offensive in what? In artillery? For me, an offensive is when you gain, not only that you gain the control of the situation by imposing your power and will over the enemies, but also you have to show it on the territory with advancement of troops. I haven't seen that happening in Ukraine, on the Ukrainian side, or at least I didn't see it in a major way. The only thing I saw, and it was being reported, has been only these are the Russians, these are the Ukrainians. The Russians advance, these guys stop them, push them a second, and then again the Russians advance, and again push them a second, and again. So it's like the trends of the US citizens' rights here in the United States. It started from having this list of rights, and you could do whatever almost you wanted in 1778, 1776, 1790. So you had this, or 80, you had this big list over there. Great. And then if you look at the list right now, it was ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. So you still have the rights, but if you look where you started and where you're at, you're done. And then it was like this: rights come back, rights come back, rights come back. And I'm talking about this Republican nowadays and Democrats nowadays, who it seems like they infringe our rights, which is supposedly the Democrats, with the participation of the Republican Party. When they gain, they gain the power, they don't do anything almost about it. It's like a little stop. It's like the Ukrainians push back a little bit, and then the trend is going that way, because the guys behind seems like they don't want us to have too much initiative and anything to say in whatever they're doing with our lives. So this is just an analogy of, I think, what's going on over there. Yes, you have little counteroffensives, like, they give you a privilege here and there sometime, and then they come with a big swing in about a year and take 10, and they gave you 1. Something that they can't actually take it or give, because they they're not the ones who are in charge of taking and giving your rights and your liberties. But what do you want? They say here in the United States about 30% of the US population is, they like to say, educated, because they have a college degree, which it's a long way to be educated. If you think you have a college degree and you're educated, then you're the right person to think this way. And with all that, they still are okay. Oh yeah, we got this. Yeah, we got this right. All right, you got this right. Don't you see that these guys can't take or give you rights? But they don't start even from the very beginning, these educated people. So if you have about 30% of the population educated, should know better, but they don't start with the foundation. So I don't know if there's going to be a big offensive. I think it's going to be, or they're going to try, or they're going to keep it the way it is. Like, oh, we're going to just are in the first phase of the offensive that we weaken the Russian side. They said they destroyed how many, 20, 40 ammunition dumps and bridges and so on. Remember, for an offensive, as a counteroffensive, you still need those bridges to cross over with your weapons. So they were all happy destroying their own bridges built by Ukraine, I'm guessing, if not the Soviet Union. I don't know how old they were. They're all celebrating the Russians cannot provide more supplies for their forces. Yeah, but if the Russians go on the other side of the river, how are you going to cross? The same the Russians try to cross, with the pontoon, with boats, with what? Like George Washington on the whatever, his famous Delaware crossing, on top of the boat, in the front of the boat. That's how we're gonna Zelensky cross the Dnieper River or something after they bombarded their own bridges. Good job. Anyway, we'll see. We'll find out if they allow us to stay alive. Don't forget, the counteroffensive has started and we didn't even notice. We're poor eyesight. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.